Hi there, welcome back up to the loft to Weir Yard. Always good to see you here. And we've got the typical Friday progress video, and this is a little bit different from what I've been showing you the last few weeks, but it's all well and good. Been doing some woodworking, so filmed a little bit as I went through, and I'm sure you'll be eager to see just what I've been up to. So without further ado, let's take a look. What you can see here is the main area that I've been working on at the moment, and this is the feed down to the lower sidings, and you can see that going down there, and you probably can't help but notice that I've extended the baseboards in front. So I've got some thin plywood here, built a frame. I've actually salvaged from out in the shed another piece of structure from Trinity Road. That's gone in there to support it all. So actually it's come together quite nice. And what I need to do is find a way of hiding this, the top of the structural bit. And I'm going to be putting in something down here. I'm not really quite decided. Retaining walls. I just see what I've got to build up. I've got some kits. I'll see whether any are suitable, but certainly, actually I think this has worked quite well. And with hindsight, my Walther's overhead travelling crane would have actually worked reasonably well on here. Might have been prone to getting damaged with leaning across from time to time, but certainly I could have put something in here. Now, I went out to the shed earlier on and salvaged a bit more track. The reason for this was because I spotted that out there was a left-hand curved point. This is actually an Electrofrog one. So I've salvaged that, and that's gone in. Needs wiring up. I've got some point motors that came off some of the bits and pieces. So I've got one here, and basically, oh, there's another one there. And I've also salvaged a PL13 from a different point motor, which I'm going to stick to the top of one of these, and that should provide the frog changing polarity for that. And I also salvaged this from out in the shed. It's a 3-way point. Again, it looks a little bit dirty and sorry for itself, but that'll clean up okay, I guess. And I want to somehow make use of this in these sidings. So we've got that point there, but well, it's not really quite. It would have actually worked better if there'd been a point over here with a lead into this area, but can't do that. So I've just got to mend and make do with whatever I've got. And I'm going to try and use a small piece here, curve that, just to bridge these two apart. And then what I've then got to do is just fiddle all this in. I've got to find another point motor, so I'm going to need 1 for that, 2 for that, and I've just got the 2 there. Now, there were other point motors that came out attached to points, so for example that one, there's another one there, there's another couple left out there, but actually what I need is a PL10E. That's a PL10. Just looking in there, I should probably have a good rummage. Do I have anything down in there? No, I don't actually. So I've basically got to work out what am I going to do to power that. So what I might have to do is just quite simply cut a hole in the baseboard and just use the PL10s on that. So a lot of work to do. I'm going to crack on and try and get some more of this done. I've test run by hand some rolling stock down, and they actually get around that curve just fine. It is a bit tight. And I've put there 2 insulating fish plates, and the reason for this is that I'm going to put in a power feed to the hidden sidings that I can switch on and off, rather than leaving everything down there permanently switched on. I want to be able to switch them in and out. So that's what the plan is for that. Got to wire it all up. But this stuff isn't going to build itself, so I'll catch you in a bit when I've got a little bit more to show you. Finally got the track in, and this is going to be a little bit of a siding area. Allow me to stable a few more locomotives, probably a whole bunch of Class 25s here. And you notice this little kickback siding. The plan for this is A, to try and fill some of this space, but it's going to be, not even sure, just some kind of engineers related stuff, maybe signalling depot, general track bits and pieces depot, maybe even just dumped wagons, things getting scrapped. I haven't fully decided, but it fills the space and gives me something scenic to work on. So I'm going to go ahead now and start ballasting some of this track. And underneath, actually, I'll just show you. I've got point motors in. There's another one over there. Finally one over here, which will probably almost never get used. But might as well put it in. Better to have and not need than need and not have. So I gave away most of my buffer stops. And now I'm in a position where actually I'm short of a buffer stop. And I also had to grab this one out of my scrap box. It's not the best of buffer stops. But that'll teach me to be generous and give stuff away before I've fully sorted what I'm actually wanting to build up here. But let's get all this ballasted. So when we come back, it'll be an instant for you. But for me, it'll probably be about 20 minutes or so. So 20 minutes later, we've got the ballast in and wetted down with the glue and dye mix. So you'll see these big open areas. I'm going to be doing ground cover in a different way. There's no point in having just ballast everywhere. I've got to just neaten this bit up as well. So there's still a lot to do, but the basic level is in there. I'm going to clean the track now, and then I'm going to call it a night because it's incredibly warm tonight and up here without that extractor fan, which I still need to fit. It's really tough to work up here, so I'm pretty proud of what I've managed to achieve so far. So I'm going to get the rail tops cleaned and might just test fit what sort of quantities of locomotives I can fit in there without it looking silly. Well, I'm really bedraggled. It's just so hot up here, but there we go. Just sort of, I'll try and move to one side so you can see there's a few locos can fit on there. So a little bit more of an unusual progress in the loft. You become, I suppose, a little bit used to seeing me do a lot of scenery. So it's nice actually to get back to doing a little bit of woodwork and just expanding the baseboards a little bit. Sometimes you find that you can do this. When you first build the baseboards, you're not quite sure of where everything will go. And sometimes, like I have, you find actually you can spare another foot out of the middle bit. It's actually quite a lot of space up here. And it allows you something which does actually give you quite a lot for the amount of space that you're building in. So it's nice to do a bit of woodwork and getting that track laid, ballasted in. So hopefully next time the progress video will be a little bit more like how you've come used to. But I'm going to turn around now so that you can see the Weir Yard sign, and I'm going to say thanks again for watching. It's been really good to have your company, and don't forget that if you want to support the channel, you can head on over to Patreon. We're on there. And don't forget as well the live stream, which will be every single Monday, 7 o'clock BST, British summertime at the moment, which is GMT +1. At some point we'll go back onto GMT with daylight saving. I don't know why we do that really. Well, I do know the reason behind it, but really, to be honest, in this day and age, I'm not really sure what all the aggro is about. But you take really good care of yourself, and in the meantime we're going to be having a couple of box opening and reviews. I've got a load of stuff stacking up. I just haven't had time to do anything, so I'm going to try and put that right. But until next time, you take really good care of yourself. Thanks for your company, and I'll see you then. Bye for now. Today's video has been brought to you in part thanks to the generous donation of my fans on Patreon. And a huge thanks goes out to Anthony Kidson, Mark Anthony, Michael Churchwood, Bob Threeton, Alec Ralph, Anthony Hunt, William Wade, Wayne Johns, and Offshore Alan. If you'd like to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk. Thank you. Today's video has been brought to you by my books, Bringing Home the Stars, Twinkle Little Star, and also you can get the complete comic collections of All Over the House, Books 1, Books 2, and also the wacky zany Life of Knobty Mouse. Thanks, and catch you later.